fashions, and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting sunny skies. It'll be breezy and incredibly warm as well. We'll see a high around 80. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 42. And tomorrow, increasing clouds throughout the day, falling temperatures too. See a high around 50. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
CBS Signs and Omaha Neon reminds our drivers, when you take to our roads during the spring season, drive with the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and common sense. When a car hits a car, it's an accident. But when a car hits a child, it's a tragedy. Safe driving is every driver's responsibility. CBS Signs and Omaha Neon are 2 quality companies in one. For non-neon signage, call Lincoln at 402-466-7446. For neon signage, call 402-341-6077. CBS Signs and Omaha Neon care about the safety of both communities.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we have some really big savings for you right now. Our new crossover sale is underway. New Terrains, Equinoxes, and Trailblazers starting at $23,290. That's right, $23,290. Also, we've continued our huge Sierra and Silverado truck sale with over $10,000 off new pickups. You heard right, over $10,000 off list. Coppell truly has a small town feel with big city deals. We're right down 144th Street or at CoppellCars.com. Stock numbers G260980 and C119824.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome into The Drive with AD and Raff. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
Brought to you by Sand Hills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we are back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Monday, And the first hour here is proudly sponsored by Sandhills Global. Sandhills Global is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Career and internship opportunities are available at the global headquarters in Lincoln. Apply today at sandhills.jobs. Got it. Boom. Show started. How was your weekend, Ahman?
That was good. Did some good stuff. Hung out with one of my old friends, teammates, Jason Peter. Went out to the Fairfield volunteer fire and rescue event on Saturday evening. My wife, my granddaughter came out as well with me, and hung out with JP, and we talked old times. It's easy when we talk about. It took me a while to get used to all this talk radio stuff because I wasn't a big talker, but I love coaching. But then eventually I was like, all right, I got to figure it out. So I got into it and just talking about myself and our careers here together. We crossed paths at the same time, and just going over that stuff and getting fired questions from the audience in the crowd of Fairfield, Nebraska, where a nice hometown of one of our other teammates, Brian Shaw. So Brian was there in house, and a guy who was one of those guys that made Nebraska football. One of these small town kids, and guys like myself coming from Omaha, we're the big city kids, but then we're all coming together, right? And just coming to do our thing, trying to continue on good Nebraska football at that time. And so that was a fun event. Then I say not much on Sunday, just I caught the game. Went to the Minnesota-Nebraska game.
Oh, you were there?
Yes,
in
I
the
was
house.
in person, man. And I don't know how y'all consumed the game, but I know consuming it in person, first time in a while since I've been in Pinnacle. And I say crowd was good, and the game, what I saw firsthand, and we'll talk about it later, but I say right now, defense was definitely in the building.
So did you think about maybe being the sixth guy in the dunk competition at halftime? Or
give me about a month. Yeah. Yeah, I'm old, so I got to warm up the joints and get the old what is it, the fast twitch going.
Yep.
Get the fast twitch trained for about a month, maybe a month and a half. Then you could throw me in the dunk contest.
Maybe a football alumni dunk competition at halftime.
100%. I'll probably, if it's alumni, I got a shot.
All right, if you're listening right now, marketing department, you've heard it here first. Ahman is throwing his cap in the alumni dunk competition.
And if it's ever an alumni home run competition, I'm in.
All right.
I don't need no training for that. I just need my bat woken up. Give me about an hour.
Well, you actually you're gonna have a shot at that probably this year, because usually the Salt Dogs have batting practice, and DP hooks it up to where you can go take batting practice.
we go out and we have BP.
I got I'm a lefty.
That's fine.
King Griffey was my guy.
You're lefty or right.
King Griffey was my guy.
This is going to be interesting. Is it going to be Strick or Ahman who leave the yard first?
Ooh, yeah.
Or does Nick?
Strick,
I don't know.
I've only gotten to the warning track out there. It's a lot more difficult with a wood bat. So
let's go wood bat.
It's wood bat.
Ooh. Boo to wood bat.
Yeah, so wood bat's a little more difficult. I've only gotten to the warning track.
You just gotta make sure. I mean, between obviously power into it, just hit it just right. You hit it just right with a wood bat, it'll go.
Well, I suppose so. That's what's incredible. So, like, the average MLB exit velocity is like 98. Okay, off the bat. And there were some guys actually from the state of Nebraska that are in high school currently that went to this prospect camp. Yeah. One of them is Tyson Lewis. He plays at Millard West. He's going to continue his career at Arkansas, which is a baseball powerhouse, as we know. The other one is Cale Fountain from Norris, who's going to continue his career at LSU, who just won the national title last year.
All right.
Both of them at this showcase in Chicago, 108 off the bat.
Out of the stadium or off the bat?
Off the bat.
Interesting.
That's a lot.
I like the analytics they get.
Oh, it's cool.
I wasn't an analytic when I was playing baseball.
Exit velocity 108, which, I mean, like I said, is 10 miles per hour over the league average.
They could just say they hit the ball hard.
I will tell you, take your batting gloves when you go hit with
100%. No, I got batted. Well,
I went batting gloves. That was painful.
I need some more. I do have a set, because every now and then I go get BP. I go to it was a movie theater not far from my house in Wisconsin, about half hour away down in Appleton, and a movie theater, big deluxe screen. Actually, it was a Marcus, like right across the street here. And in the back, they had like a kid's little, like a Chuck E. Cheese-esque place.
Oh, yeah.
And then that Chuck E. Cheese-esque place had a batting cage.
There you go.
So I would go, I said, hey, babe, let's go early. And she was like, yeah, you want to get BP in. Yep. I said, yeah.
BP, it keeps it. I enjoy still taking grounders. Like I'm doing infield work.
Really?
I enjoy that. Even though I was never an infielder, I was a catcher ever since age 10. But ever since I enjoy having, I could sit there and have ground balls hit to me for an hour and a half
all
and
day.
just throwing them to first,
That's
twisting double plays. Oh yeah,
Right, that's
just
a
the
baseball
fundamentals
thing.
of it.
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't think I
baseball
like
thing.
grounders when I was taking grounders when I was playing.
Yeah, that's a baseball thing. Like I would do BP. I would take grounders. I would limit my outfield of catching balls, fly balls, because obviously it's a lot of running.
Yeah,
and these between my calves and my hammies, I got more calves than I do hamstrings right now. So, so I was like, let's limit the running on that part of it.
I'll be 100% honest, guys, and I'm not sure if you guys realize this. One of the most difficult things to do in baseball is as a catcher catching pop flies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, throw the mask off.
Well, you got to you got to stand up, but also the amount of spin when they hit it straight up in the air. The amount of spin, it's spinning back towards the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it is the most difficult thing to judge out of pop flies, right?
As it gets closer to you, because it's continuing.
But yeah, because it's continuing to drift back into the field of play most of the time. Yep. And so you have to get your base under you. And that's why a lot of times you see catchers fall down when they're going to make a play, because they have to adjust at the last second because there's so much movement. I mean, even at the high school level, there's so much movement. But I can't even imagine at the professional level what type of spin and RPMs, as they call it, is on that baseball.
All right, come on, I'll get you on a workout plan. Quick foot agility stuff. I'll have you ready.
There you go.
You'll be ready to go catch everything.
I'm good now. I need
to position.
I'm good now. My days are over. I'm good.
You don't have eligibility left.
I mean,
you're only 23.
Yeah, I don't want to have eligibility left.
I would.
You would go back to play?
Heck yeah. Sure.
Could you?
Well, I mean, saying if you could.
I'm aged out technically, but
you are.
Yeah. If they allowed me to, I will.
That's what I'm saying. If you could, you would.
Is there an age out for college?
Baseball or football?
Well, baseball, because I was thinking you played football, but you never played baseball. So would you technically have eligibility left to play baseball?
Ooh, that's a movie in the making.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
We got to look that
I don't know the answer to that one.
We got to ask. I'll talk to
But
I know back in the day, back in the day, when you walked onto college, your clock started when you walked. But I thought if like a couple years that they changed it to where if you hadn't played that sport, but I could be completely wrong. If somebody knows that, we need to know if Ahman can maybe walk on the baseball team next year.
Yeah. Speaking of the baseball team, I know we're going to talk about this in the next segment. How about them? They get 3 of 4 from Grand Canyon over the weekend.
Down southwest.
Out in Phoenix. They're now 4-3 on the season. They'll face College of Charleston next week, who also is a very, very strong baseball team right now. So we're up against the clock. We'll go ahead and take a brief timeout. And when we come back, let's talk a little Husker baseball.
All right, we'll talk the break. Just the drive. 93.7 the ticket.
CBS Signs and Omaha Neon reminds our drivers, when you take to our roads during the spring season, drive with the 3 C's of safety: caution, courtesy, and common sense. When a car hits a car, it's an accident. But when a car hits a child, it's a tragedy. Safe driving is every driver's responsibility. CBS Signs and Omaha Neon are 2 quality companies in one. For non-neon signage, call Lincoln at 402-466-7446. For neon signage, call 402-341-6077. CBS Signs and Omaha Neon care about the safety of both communities.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about Atomic Diesel? That comes from Stern.
Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems.
Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Ready to upgrade your combine in 2024? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.5% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of February. When you purchase the pre-owned S or X Series combine from Landmark, know you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running. View our current inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
After the snow-packed winter we've had so far, people need some green, which is good because Cash Blast from the Nebraska Lottery is back. Until April 2nd, buy a 2x2 ticket, enter the voucher number, and you could win $5,000 or $500. If your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. There will be 7 weekly drawings and 14 total winners in Cash Blast. So slide into your nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer and play to win some green today. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Delicious, decadent, scrumptious, delightful. What other words can I use to describe something so good I can't even tell it's healthy? How about heavenly? Chef Bob created heavenly waffles with an incredible fluffy recipe packed with protein and loaded with a plethora of angelic toppings to elevate the experience beyond the typical waffle and syrup. Don't just take our word for it. Join us for Heavenly Waffles Wednesday to experience heaven for yourself.
Enjoy Heavenly Waffles this Wednesday, February 28th from 8 to 11 a.m. in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Parking is available along 11th Street and in nearby garages.
Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. February's cream cheese flavor is white chocolate raspberry. Pair it with a very berry chai. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You did feel the need to cuss at this one. Yeah, you cannot be this mentally fragile. Act like you're a damned NCAA tournament team.
Listen, I'm not going to change the way I tweet.
No,
Do
you're
you think Fred
That's
saw
me.
the tweet? Do you think Fred saw the tweet and called a timeout and they're like, Sorensen's upset? I got to get this.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Chris Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yo. We are back. Raff.
Bring it, Ahman.
All right.
We back on the drive, baby.
Yes, indeed.
I like it.
Yes, indeedy.
That's right. Somebody reminds us Pete Ferguson, not somebody.
Pistol Pete.
Pete's not just a somebody.
He's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, he is. Pete says or reminds us J.R. Smith got back into golf.
He did. Yeah.
After his NBA
college
career.
Right, he went
Yeah.
to some college.
Yeah, super small school.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Kyle V says in the chat for me on Text Groove, AG, use your COVID year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could.
I kind of think you still could play.
You'd be like the Brandon Whedon of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Boulder, if you're listening.
I would not be embarrassed at all. I'm like, dude, everybody be like, oh, you're old. I'm like, I know I'm old. Yeah. That's why I could do this. I got a lot of patience to wait on the curveball. I ain't trying to hit it out the park.
Late on the fastball or on time with the off speed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Speaking of Nebraska baseball, they got 3 of 4 from Grand Canyon over the weekend down in Phoenix. Now, I will say, I mean, and this is something I said last week, is these teams, although they might not have the national name, there's some pretty good ball clubs that Nebraska's facing early in the season. Obviously, you had the week 1 or opening weekend where you had Baylor, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech. Nebraska loses 2 of 3 there. But even those, to use basketball terms, are quad 1 losses, I would say. Yeah. Grand Canyon, also a quad 1 loss. This is a Grand Canyon team that won 37 games in 2023. They were also 4-0 going into the weekend against Nebraska. They were they had wins over BYU, Ohio State, USC, and Georgetown. So they beat 4 Power 5, or excuse me, I should say, quality programs there. One of those being Ohio State, who's obviously in Nebraska's conference. So this is a perennial regional appearance type of program in Grand Canyon. So taking 3 of 4 is exciting. Then you look ahead this week, Nebraska will have another 4-game set, this time against College of Charleston. Charleston down in South Carolina. Guess what? Their record is 7-0. They've swept Marshall and they've swept Youngstown State. So Nebraska's going to have an opportunity here. Charleston, once again, 7-0. Nebraska sits there at 4-3 overall. Mm-hmm. Charleston won 36 games last year in 2023 as well. So just because it's not the LSU, Oregon States, the Dukes of the world, these are still some quality opportunities for Nebraska to get some big-time wins under their belt to boost their RPI, because their RPI is not going to get boosted all that much by playing in the Big Ten later in the year.
Yeah, you got almost over 30 points in 4 games.
Yeah,
right there. And we're talking about baseball.
Scoring some runs.
Yeah, we're not talking about football.
Hitters are hitting.
I watched the highlights of one game, one of the Grand Canyon games, and a lot of hitting. Pitching was decent. They kept the ball where, pitchers did a good job of placement on the ball, because when the ball made contact by Grand Canyon players, it was either fly out or infield, catch ball out in first or out in second or stuff like that. And every now and then a lucky error where I think one of the outfielders, we had one of our players run into third. He got hit in the head with the ball, so got granted an extra base. So that'll help every now and then too. So and lively bats. So this early in the season, as a coach and as a player, we were just talking baseball, joking around, but this early in the season to have the bats alive, where they're making contact, and it's not even like you said, you don't want to hit it out.
And the first 2 games, the pitching was good. The first 2 games.
So here's what I would say is, when we talk to Coach Harvell, Lance Harvell, who's the hitting coach, the offensive guy, and the recruiting coordinator for Nebraska, he mentioned last year they're a team that hit 97 home runs. Nebraska was, which was a program record.
That's not going to be the case this year. They haven't hit that many. Josh Caron stepped up over this weekend. He had a really nice weekend against Grand Canyon. But what I would say is they've been able to manufacture runs. And what I mean by that is value the extra 90 feet, whether that's stretching a for sure single into a possible double, or ball and dirt reads, or aggressive on the base paths. Things like that are going to help win this team ball games. And you look at yesterday, for example, here it is. And you see the strategy within the game. Because yesterday you have a guy in Dylan Carey who stole home. And that's something that you pick up on over the course of the game. If you've played baseball or frankly any sport, you realize that within the game and throughout the course of the game, you can pick up on tells and on habits of the opposing team's player.
100%.
And one thing that Nebraska picked up on early in the contest yesterday was that, hey, guess what? Sometimes the catcher behind the dish is a little lazy, drops to his knees, lobs it back. Like after he catches it, he drops to his knees and he lobs it back to the pitcher.
Was that you?
No, it was not, because I knew I had teammates that got stolen on from home, and I was like, I know I am never going to get stolen. Home is never going to get stolen when I'm behind the plate. But nonetheless, yesterday they read it. And so Dylan Carey continued to get his primary lead was big enough, but then his secondary lead, once the pitch was going home, he was halfway to third base. Well, guess what? Little things like that, when you only have to run 45 feet instead of 60 or instead of 65, it's the difference in a 1 or 2 run ball game. And it ended up being the 10th run yesterday for Nebraska baseball in a 10-8 win. So little things like that will win games instead of lose them. And nobody cares how it looks or what the score is, as long as it's a W in that column.
That's why.
So they got
me have a chance.
So you got one more week there at College of Charleston.
Yeah.
4 and then South Alabama
at home. Then you have your
I
home
almost
opener.
called it Buck Belzer Field.
Yeah, so you have
to the glory.
So you have College of Charleston this weekend down in South Carolina. Then you open up with your home series the following weekend at Haymarket Park. We got asked on the text line how the pitching is. It's much better. I would also say Nebraska's got a lot of JUCO guys. So you might look at the roster, you might listen on the radio or watch on TV and say, man, I don't remember him from last year. Well, just because they're newer guys, right? But a lot of transfers, a lot of guys from Tulane. You had Rand Sanders from UNO, who came from Cloud County Community College. He's a guy from Grand Island. Grant Clevenger came from Tulane. He pitched yesterday. Bobby Olson is a newer guy. Kyle Perry is this veteran that's been here for almost 15,000 years. So like,
see, I got a shot.
Yeah, you do have a chance. But no, nonetheless, I think that once again, they don't have a Max Anderson and Bryce Matthews, the guys that are clearly the best player on the team. Dylan Carey's probably that guy, but he's not going to hit the ball. He's not going to probably hit 480 like Max Anderson did at the end of last season. So it's going to be, it's that old saying of what is it, like the sum of all the parts is greater than whatever the saying is.
Greater than the mass of the whole.
Yeah, something like that. Like you look at yesterday, and I thought it was a really nice job by the back end of the bullpen yesterday, and good strategy by Rob Childress, because you look at the pitching line, and Caleb Clark, who Nebraska's still, I think, figuring out their Saturday, Sunday kind of situations with Will Walsh and Caleb Clark. It feels like Brett Sears has Friday locked down, and maybe Drew Christo can carve out a role. He had a nice outing on Thursday, but you look at yesterday, and I thought the strategy by Rob Childress, Nebraska's pitching coach, was interesting. And it's the game within the game, right? And you're playing percentages and analytics like we talked about a little bit ago. So Caleb Clark goes 4 innings, gives up 4 earned, right? At that point, Nebraska was up 8-4, so it was okay. Tucker Timmerman, who's had a really nice outing, leads the team in appearances, or is tied for the team high in appearances. A freshman out of Beatrice, Nebraska, comes in, gives up a grand slam to where a guy also got ejected on the play because he carried his bat all the way to first base and bat flipped at first base.
Oh man!
So he got tossed after tying.
And that's baseball trash talking 1-on-1.
After tying the game with a grand slam. So Tucker Timmerman comes in. How about though Lincoln East product Jalen Worthley? Jalen Worthley, you might recognize his younger brother's name Jeter, as he was the quarterback for Lincoln East, but then he also is Jeter is committed to play baseball at Michigan currently. Well, Jalen, who was supposed to go to San Jose State, changed his mind at the last minute, goes to Nebraska. Jalen comes in relief. He gets the win. 3 innings, 3 hits, and no runs allowed. Let's see, what is it? Then they bring in Bobby Olson. He pitches 2/3 of the inning. Grant Clevenger gets an out. Rand Sanders gets 1/3 of an inning. And then Kyle Perry comes in the 9th and slams the door shut. It doesn't matter how you do it or how many guys it takes. Get the job done.
Yeah.
And we saw Rob Childress with Grant Clevenger, Rand Sanders bring in the lefty-lefty matchup in the bottom of the 8th. Bring in the lefty-lefty matchup in the in the bottom of the 9th. And then Kyle Perry comes in as well, like I said, and slams the door. So you're playing these strategic moves, especially in the 1 and 2 run ball games, to where, once again, I said you have a lot of JUCO guys on this team that have college baseball experience. So they're used to the intense moments. It's not like you're throwing a true freshman out there in a 2-run ball game with a guy on second saying, okay, get us the win. It's guys that have been there before, maybe not in Nebraska, but they've been there at the college level.
Yep.
So there's some encouragement there.
And at the end of the day, too, is that you just want to keep on stacking those wins, no matter how, even though it's 10-8, you might be like, well, the pitching was a little rough that game, but you're stacking those wins, and that's the key thing this part of the season is just keep on getting the wins. And I've said it, from the beginning, bringing Rob Childress back as the pitching coach, it's going to pay dividends. It's what he does, and I'm excited to see how the season progresses for the pitching staff and the baseball team.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I'm happy to see the bats up. Bats are woke, hitting everything cleanly off the bat, and now is, like you said, just get momentum going behind you for the rest of the game. And then once you get in the Big Ten play, that's when you actually wins count double, because you get the win here, and then it counts double going into whatever it is. What they in baseball, do they do a championship like playoff?
Yeah, they'll have a Big Ten tournament.
Big Ten tournament.
They'll have a Big Ten tournament in Omaha.
Got
so
nice.
That's the thing. So Nebraska, I mean,
right up the street.
Right up the street. You got to make it. You got to be in the top 8 teams.
Exactly.
So I mean, you look at Nebraska. And last thing before we get to break here, but you had a couple of people make their first starts for Nebraska this season. Ben Columbus was making his first start behind the plate last night for Nebraska, or yesterday for Nebraska. Gave Josh Caron the day off behind the plate. Caron DH'd and was one of the better hitters over the weekend for Nebraska. But don't forget, Nebraska currently already has a guy sidelined for a few weeks. He might be ready by the home opener series against South Alabama. That's Josh Overbeek. He broke his finger opening weekend, his finger, got a screw inserted into his finger. And so he's going to be missed about 3 weeks of time. So he might miss the home opening series, but he'll probably be back the following weekend. So that's a guy that was actually Nebraska's best hitter in the opening weekend of play and patrolling third base over there. So the hot corner. So he's out for a couple of weeks. Rhett Stokes started yesterday, went 1 for 3. So, I mean, you have some interesting pieces. Caden Brumbaugh is doing really well in that leadoff spot for Nebraska. He's an Oklahoma State transfer. This is his second year at Nebraska. Was expected to kind of be a main part of Nebraska's program last year. Had some things happen, got banged up, ends up redshirting his first year. So he's a redshirt freshman. And this is year 2 on campus, and he's Nebraska's everyday second baseman and starting out of that leadoff spot. So Caden Brumbaugh also, as we've seen in years past, whether it's with Hallmark, whether it's whoever, leadoff is obviously important. Even if you're not going to get on base, just extend at bats and give your guys an opportunity to see some pitches early on in the game. So
exactly.
All right, gentlemen, go ahead and send us to break. Let's get to history.
All right, we'll throw it to break. Just the drive. 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people. Small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
There are some things that happen every day. In the morning, my paper gets delivered. Thank you. Around noon, my neighbor waters his flowers wearing a bathrobe and hip waders. Hello, Mr. Willis.
Where's my paper?
After dinner, the lady up the street walks her 14 poodles. And just before the 10 o'clock news, the Nebraska lottery winning numbers are drawn for their daily games. Nebraska Pick 3, 2x2, and My Day. With Nebraska Pick 3, you choose your bet type. In 2x2, there's a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. They're all just $1 to play, with drawings every day. Oh, excuse me. Hi, Mr. Willis.
I'm still looking for my paper.
Guess which part of the day is my favorite?
Nebraska Pick 3, 2x2, and My Day top prize odds vary by game.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through March 3rd, enjoy USDA Choice Top of Nebraska sirloin for $4.99 per 10-ounce cut. Lots of options on fresh fish. 30 packs of Busch Light for just $18.99. And for ticket listeners only, 3-pound packs of Fairway's fresh ground beef for just $2.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Delicious, decadent, scrumptious, delightful. What other words can I use to describe something so good? I can't even tell it's healthy. How about Heavenly. Chef Bob created Heavenly Waffles with an incredible fluffy recipe packed with protein and loaded with a plethora of angelic toppings to elevate the experience beyond the typical waffle and syrup. Don't just take our word for it. Join us for Heavenly Waffles Wednesday to experience heaven for yourself.
Enjoy Heavenly Waffles this Wednesday, February 28th from 8 to 11 a.m. in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Parking is available along 11th Street and in nearby garages.
This is The Drive with AD and Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we are back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Monday, going to be 78 degrees today.
Awesome.
Yep, I'm golfing.
Awesome.
Decision made. Wow. Decision made.
Yeah, that's easy.
All right, history. 1935, the New York Yankees release Babe Ruth. He signs with the Boston Braves. But that's, releasing Babe Ruth, that's like saying, that's like the Yankees. Well, Derek Jeter, it was a good ride, but we got to release you.
Yeah, I don't want to be that GM.
You have to wonder what it was like for Yankees fans on that day. Seeing him go. That is the heart of your organization.
The Sultan of SWAT.
Like I said,
the great Bambino.
Don't want to be the GM. I don't want to be that personnel person. Have to go in that locker room, and then obviously you have to make the statement to the reporters. Even a reporter, because even back then, you talking about what, 1935?
35, yep.
A reporter probably slap you. Like I said, it was no, it was a respect, and so people people in that time, man, it was old school. So a reporter might have slapped the GM just because, like, what are you doing? Like, what did
you let Babe go?
Yeah. That's that guy.
Yeah,
That's the guy.
Bye, Babe.
But yeah, it's just cool.
Yeah. 1989.
I was 12, 13.
89. You'd have been
13.
Oh yeah.
I was 13 years old. That's when Batman started.
There was a new owner in town for the Dallas Cowboys. His name was Jerry Jones.
Wow.
And he went in and he fired Tom Landry after 29 years of being the Dallas Cowboys head coach.
Yep.
Now that was shockwaves because Tom Landry was the Dallas Cowboys.
Up until that moment.
The fedora, the shadow over old Cowboys Stadium. And Jerry Jones went in and said, see you later. You got to go.
And I lived that and seeing that as a kid. Yeah, Cowboy fans were upset.
Oh yeah.
For the sports channels, we were still in California. I was watching local news, and it was like you would have thought they had just lost what they were. They were losing. They weren't having good seasons. They were average seasons, about 500 seasons at that time. And I remember, it was just like, because I was a 49ers fan, just all over the media, it was just like you would have thought it was something way worse than just the Cowboys losing a legendary head coach.
Well, I think the Cowboys fans too. I think they were just upset at the way it was handled. Like it was just so
business.
It was so cutthroat.
Yeah,
it was like Coach Solich. It's like, hey, let's slip a note under your door saying you're fired. Something like that. It was so. But that was one thing as the years have went on. Jerry Jones has really went on to kind of remedy that. Like if you go to the new stadium now, there's the huge Tom Landry statue, and they
he knew.
But yeah, but at the time when that happened, it was like, what is going on right now? But Jerry had a plan. He knew that he'd be calling Jimmy Johnson up down there at the University of Miami, and away they went. But actually, the first season they hired Jimmy Johnson, 1 in 15.
1 in 15. It was rough. But Jerry Jones, like you said, business plan already, enacted. That was the first step, first big step, first tough step, and he knew that he probably get a lot of backlash. But since then, been kind of a guy that, in the NFL history of the business side, has been a trendsetter. Some good stuff for I say a lot of good stuff for ownership around the league for all 32, but then for the players' sake, sometimes good, sometimes like, what are y'all doing? As owners, because we all do this thing together as players too. So that was like a thing when I got into the league where everybody, like players that obviously played for him, loved them to death because that was his team. That was their team, kind of their boss. But then outside, he was one of the guys that was like taking owners and like this was their group over here, and then players were over here. In terms of like we talking about union and all that type of stuff, players union. And then it felt like he was one of those guys that was trying to go against us instead of working with us in terms of pay in terms of benefits and all that. So that was something that was like when I first got in the NFL in 1998, it was like big things, like not a lot of players like Jerry Jones other than the players that played for Cowboys. That was about it. So.
Who so while you were playing, was there like a certain ownership group or team ownership that was talked about amongst the league as being one of the better ones, or somebody that?
So they were. So Cowboys was one of the better ones. It's just unfortunately that he rubbed players and the Players Association the wrong way, where he was like the ringleader between the teams that were winning at that time. So we had Cowboys, we had 49ers. Who else was still winning or was winning? You know, Pittsburgh, I remember not too long after that, they got to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So those organizations, Packers, were being kind of piled together saying, hey, they're having meetings without everybody being there.
Yep.
And that's where the players felt like, wait a minute, you can't leave us out of this equation because, but not for you, we're not here, and vice versa. If we're not doing what we're doing as players, then the organizations can't float. And like right now, and it took years to where now we'll be talking a little bit about what the league is doing.
Yep.
And we'll talk about here in a few segments. I don't want to, disregard that or like go into that right now. But to get to where this thing is at, what we're about to talk about, it took them, when I say them, owners like Jerry Jones, to understand, oh, wait a minute, we can't control them. We gotta basically let them speak, hear what they're saying, and then acknowledge, because now player benefits for former players like myself, and then stuff for current players while they're playing is there now that are in place, because now they're working together and not separating apart, basically.
Nice.
Yep.
And you forgot the Broncos too. They were pretty successful
Broncos.
when you got into the league. Just
98. I was talking about at the time.
Gotta remember the glory.
No. I was talking about when he got hired in '89. They were still good then because they went.
They had John Elway then.
That's
we were
when
good.
John was on the road in the early '90s too, and the late '90s. He had it going for a while.
I'm hanging on to the glory years.
You're always bringing the Broncos in some way.
Yeah,
some
you
shape,
have
or
to.
form.
He's a fan.
You have to. You have to.
Yep.
All right. And then we got a couple birthdays today. Born in 1887, one of my personal favorites here, Grover Cleveland Alexander. And the reason why I always bring up Grover Cleveland Alexander is he's from St. Paul, Nebraska. He was born in Elba, Nebraska, actually, but he lived and is buried in St. Paul, Nebraska. He went out, won 300 and I think it was like over 330 games, maybe more than that. Hall of Fame pitching career. Ended up going back in the 50s, living in St. Paul.
Wow.
And
simpleness.
It all goes back to your roots.
It's crazy though. Think that you went out and you're pitched at Wrigley Field and all these old stadiums, and next you know you're back in St. Paul and lived out the rest of your life there. So
I like that. Simple.
So Grover Cleveland Alexander, Old Pete is what they called him. Nice. And then born in 1973, he was a running back from San Diego State. Any guesses?
Ooh, San Diego State. Oh, that's
born in 73.
Born in 1973, Hall of Fame running back, played at San Diego State.
Oh man.
So he would have gotten in around
San Diego
94-ish.
You guys are gonna kick yourself when I tell you.
I know it's somebody I know because I know all the running backs in the league and college football ranks. The San Diego State.
Should I do the Chris Berman?
Yeah, go for it.
Marshall.
Oh, Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk.
Because you don't hear San Diego State a whole lot these days. And the only reason you heard San Diego State back when I was playing because of that dude right there. Marshall Falk. Yeah, he was one of the guys that right before me, before I got here, I was watching him on Thursday Night Football when ESPN started doing it and getting those games. I mean, he didn't run people over, but he was like another Barry Sanders. And then on top of it, he caught the ball out the backfield. That's something Barry didn't get a chance to do a whole lot. Run screenplays. And then when you saw him running routes just as good and catching the ball just as good as wide receivers, I was like, man, I said, okay. I said, I got to do that now. I was like, all right, I know what a running back looks because I've studied Walter Payton at that time and Bo Jackson. I was like, all right, got to be fast. You got to be able to run through people. And then when I saw Marshall Falk come up, I'm like, but I was like, wait a minute. I know this other dude named Roger Craig. He caught the ball off the backfield pretty good for the 49ers and us, but he definitely got to catch the ball. Then if I get an opportunity to go this level, to get me to college level and other running backs, like, man, we got to catch the ball. And so he did it special.
Nebraska tried to recruit him.
Yeah.
But they wanted him to play defensive back.
Yeah, corner.
So he said, I think I'm going to go to San Diego State and see how that works out.
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
So.
I was like, when I heard that, I was like, what? I was like, come on. That was like the same thing, not letting me play baseball. Come on, coaches. Come on, guys.
Hey, maybe we still get that year of eligibility, right? What do you say?
I think you get more than 1 year. I think this
I
can happen.
don't think I age out in baseball because baseball you can play forever. You know, as long as you stay healthy.
J.R. Smith, I knew there was someone that did that went back and
I think it's North Carolina AT&T where he's hacked because I think I remember A&T. Yeah.
Hastings College.
There you go. That's what, an hour away?
Yeah. Hour 15, you can do that.
Yeah, that's Coach Osborne's hometown. I know he could pull some strings.
This needs to be done. Ahman Green wants to play baseball. You've got a team out there.
If not, I'll settle for the show on Xbox or PlayStation.
Oh, maybe the Salt Dogs can sign you to a little contract.
That would be awesome for a day.
Ahman,
little independent ball.
A little
play like a week, like a 2-week contract or something.
There you go. Yep.
Just get one hit.
That'll settle my where I always give Coach Osborne and Coach Solis a hard time about me not playing baseball during spring ball.
Yeah, this has to happen.
That'll settle that.
If Brett Jody's listening, Brett, we need a 2-week contract for Ahman.
There you go. And DP knows.
And this isn't an honorary contract. This is one he wants to play.
Yeah, I'll be in shape. I said, just put me at first base.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm a lefty. Boom. Quick from the shortstop and the second baseman.
And we're breaking news right here today. Ahman Green wants to play baseball. If you've got a team, can I be your agent? Do you still have an agent?
I can handle that.
Can I be your baseball agent?
I think I can handle that myself. I already know how things
I just want to be your baseball agent. I won't even take a cut. I just want to say that I'm your baseball agent.
Oh, you just want to?
Yeah, I'll just be like, I'm Ahman's baseball agent. Give me a call.
There you go.
We'll hook something up.
Can't hurt to add it to the resume.
Yeah, we could do this as a fundraising thing too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This needs to be done.
Yeah, we gotta get that work.
Let's get a petition going.
I mean, one game, 2 games. It's all dogs.
And if I get a hit, like for either a hit between second base, first base, second base, third, or a home run, then it's more you can add on. If I had a home run, you'll donate this money or whatever. We can figure out something.
Yeah, this has to happen. So if you got a baseball team, let us know. I'm Ahman's agent. I take 0% of the cut. All right. We'll throw it to break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Oh, man.
Your agent. I don't want to cut. I just want to be your agent. I'll be like, you go.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through March 3rd, enjoy USDA Choice Top of Nebraska Sirloin for $4.99 per 10-ounce cut. Lots of options on fresh fish. 30 packs of Busch Light for just $18.99. And for ticket listeners only, 3-pound packs of Fairway's fresh ground beef for just $2.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. February's cream cheese flavor is white chocolate raspberry. Pair it with a very berry chai. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting sunny skies, it'll be breezy and incredibly warm as well. We'll see a high around 80. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 42. And tomorrow, increasing clouds throughout the day, falling temperatures too. See a high around 50. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Delicious, decadent, scrumptious, delightful. What other words can I use to describe something so good I can't even tell it's healthy? How about Heavenly. Chef Bob created Heavenly Waffles with an incredible fluffy recipe packed with protein and loaded with a plethora of angelic toppings to elevate the experience beyond the typical waffle and syrup. Don't just take our word for it. Join us for Heavenly Waffles Wednesday to experience heaven for yourself.
Enjoy Heavenly Waffles this Wednesday, February 28th from 8 to 11 a.m. in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Parking is available along 11th Street and in nearby garages.
Ready to upgrade your combine in 2024? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.5% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of February. When you purchase the pre-owned S or X Series combine from Landmark, know you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running. View our current inventory online at landmarkim.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about Atomic Diesel? That comes from Stern.
Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems.
Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome into The Drive with AD and Raff. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history. We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
Brought to you by Sand Hills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we are back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Monday. Ahman starting to heat up in the free agent circuit for his baseball career.
Yep, we got the GM for the Salt Dog text.
Could happen.
Disc Golf Jake, and says in the screenshot here, he says Ahman. So Disc Golf Jake says Ahman Green is on the ticket right now, asking for 2 weeks contract for the Salt Dogs. GM
put it out. He's putting it out to the GM.
GM says absolutely. He's a lefty too. Also meant Ahman. LOL. Something. Autocorrect. Yep. And then he said I'll buy a ticket to that. And he says he's a lefty too, so he's in the game.
There we go. So that's all we got to do now. So remember, I'm his agent.
Yeah, he said, "Come
Chris
on
Raff.
over, Ahman. Come on
I'm like
over,
Jerry
Ahman.
Maguire. Show me the money." No.
And here's probably the most important question of the day, Ahman.
What's up?
You get the contract, let's say.
Yeah.
What's the walk-up song?
Ooh.
Oh, you know what? I love baseball and the fact they do that because we don't have that in football. and it's I'm an old school, rap fan, and it's got to be Dr. Dre. What is it? I think the one with him and Snoop. Of course, the name is drawing a blank right now.
Nothing but a G thing.
Nothing but a G thing.
Oh, that's
it.
so yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
Because my last name is Green, so
Yeah.
G thing. That's where I took it from. I was like, when he came with that song, I was like, oh, it's talking about me pretty much. That's my first letter of my last name. There you go. Nothing but a G thing with Dr. Dre would be my walkout song right there. Bam.
Boom. We got it. This is what we do on the drive.
Yep.
I love it. All right.
Signing deals, getting contracts.
Heck
what else?
yeah.
Send it our way. We'll get it finished. What you
huge.
got, Raff?
Next thing we know, Ahman's playing in the majors. I think they made a movie about that. I think.
Yeah.
That one pitcher that was like 45 and made his return.
I'm 47. Not much older.
Oh, you still got
yeah. You got time.
First base.
I was going to ask you the other day, what do you think you can store in the 40 in?
I don't know. I think I was talking to Nick earlier. I got 2 full calf muscles, and I got more calf muscles than I got hamstrings. So just so you know, I don't know.
Think you go under 5?
I say for pride's sake, yes.
Okay.
I don't want to be over 5. for a person that run 40s my entire life, I don't want to be in the 5 neighborhood of 40 yards.
Oh, that's awesome. I was wondering that. I was like, I wonder if he's still running.
My last one, because I played rugby for a couple of years, and we had to run a 40, and that was 2014, and I went 4.7.
All right.
At that time. And I had been mostly I wasn't even speed training. I was mostly endurance training.
Good
at
Lord.
that time. So, yeah.
Darn. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. Nebraska basketball, the women's basketball team on Saturday got a big victory over the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers, 70-51. Nebraska runs their record to 19-9. So, you get a chance to pick any of that game up there on Saturday.
Yep.
We had let me go here. I gotta pull up my stats here because I know Markowski played big again. I love the way I think ever since AD talked about Markowski just like taking control. She didn't have a ton of points, but they had a pretty big lead. But 10 points, 12 rebounds. Once again, the point scoring kind of flip-flop. Jazz Shelley, she does everything. 16 points, 7 assists. I love the way that both the men's and the women's basketball teams, that it flip-flops almost every game. That someone else has a big game, or if somebody does not have a big game, like for instance, you look at last night with Keisei Tominaga.
Yep. Not much going on.
There wasn't much.
But he played defense. He was on the defensive side.
Took a charge.
Yep. And that's huge right there. Stuff like that.
And he's constantly moving around, keeps the defense spread out.
Yep.
But it's like end of the game, doesn't have a big point scoring game, but Nebraska still ends up, running away with it. And it's like same way with the Minnesota Nebraska women's game.
All right.
I thought it was the same way, to where you have the different people that are stepping up, and you got different stuff going on. And I think that bodes well for Nebraska. So now you end up, they have Illinois on the 3rd, and that's at Illinois. I think Illinois, I think they're a 500 ball club, if that might even be.
It would get it looked up.
I had it pulled up and then I lost it.
Oh, that's all right. We'll get it looked up for you.
But yeah, so they got Illinois. This is definitely a game that they can get. So they get up to 20-9, and then you start the Big 8 or the Big 8. I just went back
Big
25, 30 years.
Big 10. We got you. We know what you meant.
So then you go back, and then you have that. So I think the women are set up good, and I think they have that potential to where they'll have one of the top 4 slots, so they can get that 2-day bye also. So,
well, what just makes them so dangerous, right, is you can work the ball inside and out, because that's what makes these good basketball teams. If you have that ability to shoot the 3 from outside with Shelley, and then Markowski go inside, and then you have someone like Natalie Potts who could kind of go either way. Logan Nisley, who got hot a few games ago, they're set to make a run, because the teams that get past Wednesday, Thursday, if you're a double bye team that get past Friday, are the ones that can score the ball in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
And the ones that can't, they will be out on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah. And I'm just learning, getting used to the rosters, being here a year now. But what I'm seeing from an athletic standpoint, just watching the game, seeing the highlights of this game, watching the men's in person, what I see going into the time of the year where you need it is defense. And the problem that Raff talked about, when you have people on different nights doing big number stuff in basketball, then you create a problem. What we call in football is we're making the defense be honest, because then the defense can't just settle in zone, or defense can't just settle in man, or they can't just settle. I'm a defend. I always mess his name up. Keisei
Tominaga.
So they don't want to settle and try to double team him the whole game. They got to worry about, because Gary, right? We'll talk about the men's in a minute, but we got Moriarty playing well, Shelley, great. So when you have multiple people different nights doing the job, getting the job done for a team, then the opposing team, coach and staff is like, all right, well, we got to keep it. So it's just like we got to play a aware defense. So no matter, basically, whoever gets the high hand, that's eventually who we got to get to and slow down. But who is that going to be? You don't know until the game start. And then that's a problem, right? Because then that team has to jump on the run. So that's what I like seeing right now in both men's and women's teams going into the NCAA and Big Ten tournament.
And then with the women, I mean, you had 4 different players with 6 points coming off the bench, and bench points, along with,
they count too.
Exactly. You count bench points, offensive rebounds, points off turnovers. Those are kind of your big 3 in factors to determine, okay, do you have an 80% chance to win this game? You have to have a solid bench.
Yep. So I looked this up here. Nebraska right now, they're in the number 4 slot. They're a half game ahead of Michigan State. Nebraska, if they hold court against Illinois, who's 13-13, 7-9 in the conference, they'll get one of the double byes, because they only got that one game left, and they beat Michigan State earlier in the year. So it's Nebraska's basically the ball's in their court. If they get that win on the 3rd against Illinois, and then the Big Ten basketball tournament starts on March 6th, but Nebraska quite conceivably would not play their first game until March 8th. So hopefully Nebraska can pull that game off. That's a big game for Nebraska.
So that's what the double bye means.
Yeah.
So we get 2 games.
Yeah, you get 2 games
to chill out and get ready, heal up.
Yep.
Nice. All right. For listeners that didn't know, like myself, I didn't know.
So then you're coming in with that double bye. You're getting down, and then the team that you play won to power to played either 1 or 2 games. So that's it. So signs are good for Nebraska there, and Illinois is a team that they definitely can beat. I know it's on the road, but Nebraska, if they play their game, continue to work Markowski, get that inside-outside game that Josh was talking about, I think Nebraska will be in good shape going into that game.
Yeah, and you just got to make sure, obviously, you keep everybody, I say, sharp during that double bye. I mean, because obviously I hear bye, and I think of NFL playoff teams taking that bye week going into the playoffs because they just won the conference or the division, and then they come out dead. So not saying, this just
Nebraska's women's basketball team makes its way down to Cancun.
So history, I said we did a little history earlier. I'll give you a little history of what Coach Osborne and his staff would do with us during those double bye weeks, right? Because the BCS game was, January 6th or something like that for our national title game for the Fiesta Bowl my freshman year. And so we had a month of no football.
Yep.
We've had 2 full scrimmages.
Yeah.
Of 80 plays, and some games are not 80 plays. This do the numbers. 2 full, and full contact. Because I remember one time Scott got lit up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Tommy got hit one time. I was like, "He's the starter." It didn't matter because we had to simulate real action. So we had to stay sharp between beating Oklahoma. That was we beat Oklahoma, won the Big 8 at that time, the last Big 8, and then got ready for Florida Gators. And we're playing Florida Gators, a lot more fast, a lot more speed on their defense.
Yep.
So we played 2 full games before we played them. Yep. And I say that was definitely, it kept us sharp. So same here for Coach Williams and Hoiberg to say, hey, get some scrimmages in, work on the fundamentals of defense, footwork, passing, because in a 30-game season, some of them little fundamentals, you forget the players because they're just trying to run the set on what the team they're facing right now, defensively and offensively. So make sure you go back to the fundamentals and then play some games. Play a lot of basketball if you get that double bye for both teams.
Yeah, going back to like Coach Osborne, he'd had 25 years, leading up his last 4 years. He kind of got that. He got the how to do it before the bowl game,
right? In rhythm, yeah.
Because for a lot of years it was Nebraska. They'd go down to the bowl game and they'd get beat, and Coach Osborne, well, you should have done it this way. You should have done it this way. You should have done it this way. But then once he found that formula, Nebraska was pretty unbeatable in the last, 5 years of his career in bowl games. So
part of that formula was speed. We didn't have a lot of speed in certain, like between linebackers and defensive backs. And then once they got that speed element coming in, and that's where, and then offense too, running backs, wide receivers, even though we didn't throw the ball a whole lot, but just having that threat of a wide receiver, and obviously at running back came in and played, then obviously other teams were thinking about that. Like, man, they got these guys. So they're worrying about everything else instead of just playing football. And that's where a lot of it was game over before the game started, but we had to still, we still play the game.
Still to show up.
Yep.
All right. And then Nebraska men, big game last night over Minnesota.
Nice.
Nebraska 73-55, 18-point victory over Minnesota last night. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did not think Nebraska played all that well last night.
Really?
I did not.
Where at?
I thought the first half was very sloppy. But like I said, at the end of the game, I said, for Nebraska to win by 18 and not play a good game, that says a whole bunch about the kind of team Nebraska has this year.
Right. And I'll say Minnesota didn't play good too.
No.
First half.
No.
Both teams were pretty
struggled.
much.
It was sloppy.
And so they struggled. And I agree with you there. So Nebraska didn't play good. They played a little sloppy. So did Minnesota.
Yeah.
They matched it. But what Nebraska
when you can win sloppy, like when you're up by 10 points in the first,
right?
Like that first half was, I was like, oh, this is messy. But Nebraska's up by 8 points. I'm sitting there going, that says a lot about the team. When you have a team, like I love any team can come out and play their best game and win big. But when you can come out and not have your best game and still win, they always talk about Tiger Woods back in the day. That what made Tiger Woods so great was he didn't need his A game to win. He could come out with his B- game and still beat people. That's what I saw last night from Nebraska was I don't think they had their A game last night, and they still were able to, win by 18 and be up by 10 points in the first half. That was kind of what I saw last night.
Well, you've been watching them longer than me, so you definitely got my okay for that, because if that was their B+ game or B- game, I take that.
Yeah,
because
me too.
I'm thinking, so as a coach, right? I'm looking at I'm progressing forward. We got Big Ten tournament, we got NCAA tournament. If this is B-, because I saw defense, because even like you're not shooting well in basketball, you got to still do the other side of the court.
And that's what they were doing.
They were
good
D'ing
defense.
these guys up, rebounding,
Physical
Mass was
rebounding.
in there, physical. Gary was getting in there. It was a couple hard fouls in the middle, but nothing, obviously nothing serious. Almost a flagrant one. It was one on Rink went up, and you saw that. So that was making up, but that got them back in rhythm. Even no offense was getting formulated or, getting processed or created. Defense then made stuff because they were grabbing boards, getting the ball down court. And you saw when K-State got the ball, Minnesota defense was like, oh, wait a minute, get to the 3-point line. Because he was trying to get there and get a shot. And that was one thing Minnesota did against K-State. They made sure once he got the ball, it was a defender in his face and kept him from getting in his rhythm, because you play basketball, and a good player knows when they get that rhythm pitch to him or that rhythm pass, and boom, you just take it and shoot it. He could never get to that because the defender was, defending. I say that one off foot that he likes to get back and then step back too. So good job there for Minnesota. But I'll say overall, so to get him out of that stink, no offense, that defense showed up. Rink was a part of it. He was the ringleader there. And then what I really enjoyed was Gary, man, getting in that rhythm.
He's a beast.
Where he was coming down, and that offense, they was just in a rhythm where he had like 3 or 4 threes in a row. I mean, I was like, this is nice. But if that's B-, I can't wait. I can't wait for Big Ten. Then I say people in Big Ten need to worry.
Yeah, I mean,
this team.
You look at the shooting line last night. They're 24 for 61, 39% from the field, 9 for 28 from 3. I mean, that's what 9 for 28, 32% from 3. Nebraska's capable. They're better. They're better 3-point shooting team than that.
Right.
And I mean, like Rink Mass, for instance, 3 for 12 from the field. I mean, that stuff, he's a 50%, over 50% shooter.
But that's where tip to the hat to Minnesota. Defense was there for them. So they were making us just as well. We were making them work for every point, every rebound, and getting every little scrappy thing. So when Big Ten tournament comes around, we got the Purdue's, we got the teams that are at the top. This is going to be our teams women's and men's is going to be that team. It's going to be that scrappy team that you got to pay attention to.
Yep.
Because if not, they'll sneak up on you.
I agree completely. All right, what we'll do now is we will throw it to break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket. Yeah, the first half.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. February's cream cheese flavor is white chocolate raspberry. Pair it with a very berry chai. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe. Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we have some really big savings for you right now. Our new crossover sale is underway. New Terrains, Equinoxes, and Trailblazers starting at $23,290. That's right, $23,290. Also, we've continued our huge Sierra and Silverado truck sale with over $10,000 off new pickups. You heard right, over $10,000 off list. Coppell truly has a small town feel with big city deals. We're right down 144th Street or at CoppellCars.com. Stock numbers G260980 and C119824.
There are some things that happen every day. In the morning, my paper gets delivered. Thank you. Around noon, my neighbor waters his flowers wearing a bathrobe and hip waders. Hello, Mr. Willis.
Where's my paper?
After dinner, the lady up the street walks her 14 poodles. And just before the 10 o'clock news, the Nebraska Lottery winning numbers are drawn for their daily games. Nebraska Pick 3, 2x2, and My Day. With Nebraska Pick 3, you choose your bet type. In 2x2, there's a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. They're all just $1 to play, with drawings every day. Oh, excuse me. Hi, Mr. Willis.
I'm still looking for my paper.
Guess which part of the day is my favorite?
Nebraska Pick 3, 2x2, and My Day top prize odds vary by game.
Delicious, decadent, scrumptious, delightful. What other words can I use to describe something so good I can't even tell it's healthy? How about Heavenly. Chef Bob created Heavenly Waffles with an incredible fluffy recipe packed with protein and loaded with a plethora of angelic toppings to elevate the experience beyond the typical waffle and syrup. Don't just take our word for it. Join us for Heavenly Waffles Wednesday to experience heaven for yourself.
Enjoy Heavenly Waffles this Wednesday, February 28th from 8 to 11 a.m. in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Parking is available along 11th Street and in nearby garages.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is The Drive with AD and Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we are back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. I have to let everyone know that Hour 2 is proudly sponsored by Doors Plus. I should have said this earlier, but I'm sorry. It was my first day reading it. Usually I have Nick read it.
Good.
So if your garage door needs maintenance or you need an entirely new garage door, give Cameron Hall and his team a call. Give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus is locally owned and handles everything from residential or commercial garage doors, garage door openers, safety tune-ups, or custom design. Visit DoorsPlusLLC.com to learn more. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more. So give Cameron a call if you need some garage door assistance. And then also I wanted to let everyone know today that Peter King announced his retirement today.
From Sports Illustrated.
He's
that guy.
What is he? Sports Illustrated, NBC. He does the Monday morning football morning in America.
Monday morning quarterback.
Monday morning, yep. He announced his retirement. Just said that he been to 40 consecutive Super Bowls. And he was at the Super Bowl this year. And he goes, I wonder what it would be like to actually watch a game on television. And he's like, that's what he's going to do. And it was pretty cool reading.
It's the simple things in life sometimes that pop up. You know,
he's like, I've never seen a Super Bowl on television before. He's like, I want to watch one and see what it's like from that point of view. And he wrote a really cool story. If you get a chance to read it, it's awesome. He talks about all of his highlights of his career. Brett Favre giving him a call back in '97.
And he probably was asking for a thing to chew.
Yeah,
that's Brett. Hey, you got some? Hey, I don't chew, bro. I don't need it.
Yeah, but you're his running back though. You should have just a thing of chew just for him, just if he needs it.
That stuff not good for you. That's what I tell him.
You cared for Brett.
And I cared for him and all my old linemen here in Nebraska too. I'm like, what are y'all guys doing? I was like, I know it's a thing, but it's not good for you. I'm helping you.
Yeah.
You know?
Ahman cares.
Yeah, I do, Raff. That's what you're gonna find out here.
He cares.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Peter King, you definitely check out this story. He talks about, it's crazy. Like all the huge big name, like a lot of the quarterbacks, like Tom Brady, Brett Favre, and he puts his list of
Joe Montana probably.
Yeah. That contact him to give him the scoop on the stories. And he talks about all that. He talks about the 10 best people he's worked with, the 10 best interviews, and it's a long story, but it's super cool. I got to read it this morning. So,
oh man, where's it at? What website?
I think if you just type in Peter King, it'll pull,
I could do that.
It'll pull up. So I think it's on.
I love the internet.
It's on the NBC website, I believe. So, but it's super cool, and he just talks about everything that he's dealt with over the last I think he said 44 years, 47 years.
My life, pretty much.
Yeah, he's 66. He talks about last year. He goes when he kind of started thinking about retirement was last year's Super Bowl. He asked Andy Reid when he was going to retire, and Andy Reid turned it on him and goes, so when are you going to retire? And he goes, not until that time did I really think that it was, my time to retire. But Peter King, just awesome dude. Great stories.
Yeah. Real quick from the text line we got from 402 405. Hey guys, the radio station reception right now is terrible. So
we'll get it. We'll get on it.
We got to get that right.
We got our technical geniuses working on it.
Alrighty.
So we're good to go there. And then more NFL talk. The salary cap. Ahman Green. You think about maybe making another comeback to the NFL? Maybe.
Hey, with all the money that
baseball, NFL,
he's doing it all,
dumping it in. Hey, so yeah, the collective bargaining agreement's been around since a guy that I wish I was teammates with, Reggie White, hit the free agent market, and that's when collective bargaining. So 1992 was kind of when that happened, and so it's basically this for layman terms. It's a whole bunch of money that's put into one bucket and is divvied up 32 times and it's equal amounts. So all 32 NFL teams get the amount of money. And that amount of money we're talking about is $255.4 million per club for this year. So this is why we see Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow, wide receivers, running backs, more particular quarterbacks getting these big deals. And this is another reason why we were just talking about this off air, why we still have the NFL riding at a high level, because something that in my neighborhood, dealing with esports, where it's a desert right now. And when I refer to desert, because the money is not fruitful everywhere. So NFL teams, they get their bump every year to then work out every contract to basically pay their bills, in-house player stuff. But then some of this actually is for NFL alumni players too, myself. So for all 32 teams, there's player benefits that go into this salary cap money that all the teams get as well. And so why I reference esports is because you see every year between video game makers laying off employees, leagues, college leagues, professional leagues shutting down. Overwatch League just shut down. A college league called CCL, which is College COD League, Call of Duty, shut down last fall. Then it started back up again because they were able to basically get more money to get going again. So like I said, it's a desert. You find that spout, you hit it, water's flowing out, but eventually it goes dry. Because in my space, Microsoft, Riot, Activision, EA Sports is not selling that bucket of money. Once they get that day one drop of Madden where they make $80 million to $100 million day one, they're not sharing it with all the organizations like the esports orgs out there, like the NFL. So just imagine if the NFL owned football and said, you know what, we made all the money, we're not giving it to y'all, so y'all got to make y'all own money. How you think NFL owners would say, and what would they say to that? Just imagine.
You're fired, Roger.
So right. I guess my question for you is someone who not only has that NFL experience, but the esports,
right?
Really into the esports world. What's that first step, do you think, whether it's the players, the coaches of esports, maybe just the public themselves? What can people do to possibly start getting that pay to those players?
It's all those entities you just mentioned, the people, the public, the companies, myself, esports directors around the country, because this is not just this doesn't affect just the college level. It affects every level, and professional level, grassroots level, which is elementary school, middle school kids don't have opportunity. They really got to, find places where there's a successful program or funding that's coming to a town or a city to then do esports at the middle school level, esports at the high school level, esports at the college level, and then maybe the pro level. Because right now, pro level, you got to be that dude. You got to be that girl that's really good at whatever game, headshot, three. You got to be that phenomenal esports player to get a deal. And then you're with the organization, but then that organization has to pay you. And then that organization is only floating off of whatever that CEO has made in their career as an owner to create a FaZe Clan, to create Envious or Energy or Cloud9. And then we only know that they only know how much they could go. So if they don't have funding coming from Microsoft, from Riot, from Activision, then they're just sustaining on their own. And then hopefully they got a good business plan for that. Hopefully they got somebody backing them, or they're invested in something where there's money coming off trees for them. So for the NFL, that's why we're experiencing it. That's why they're going for world domination, because we got a game against the Eagles and the Browns come September in Brazil, and we already have Europe conquered. I don't say we, but I was a part of it for a long time. It's just a habit. But yeah, that's why we have football in England. We have it in Germany. We have it in France. We got it now, like I said, coming to Brazil. And so this is a good thing obviously for the NFL, because now they stay relevant and they have power in terms of the money, because that's what money is. But it's a little bit power, but it powers them to keep pushing and getting young adults, young men, and now young ladies playing football out there, and then have a dream. Be like, look, I could go pro and do this and make this amount of money, and then help my family or a foundation or a charity or what have you, or at least say, hey, I was able to do that, and now I say it's so. For on the flip side, for esports, hey, Microsoft, Sony, all you guys out there creating video games, share that wealth a little bit, and then you'll see how we'll grow together to then have something rivaling, because we're already right there in fan attendance and watching League of Legends. You got 14 million people watching, and that's more than the Super Bowl in 2020. Back in 2020, it was that. So you have just as much people watching it, so the advertising dollars are there. So now you just got to put in the spout in the ground, boom, and make sure it's in the right location.
Now, when we were talking earlier about Jerry Jones, Tom Landry, and kind of how the business has sometimes been owners over here and players, coaches over here, you have to have the two together
100%.
in order to work. And the interesting thing is, you talk about EA Sports having this money. What they need to understand is that this whole mission is going to go into the ground if you don't help them supply money, because nobody wants to do that, get to that level, if you're not being compensated, right? And really, they're shooting themselves in their own foot, and they don't even realize it. It's the negligence of it. It's like, come on, come on.
I do another podcast. I do my gaming podcast, Ahman Green Gamers Lounge, and once a year I talk about this. When I see a company lay off 30 employees, or I see an organization that does tournaments shut down, I'm like, well, if a company, say if you had a company, Raff, and you're running Super Smash Brothers as your tournament, and you're getting nothing from Nintendo at all, what would you say? What would you say to Nintendo?
Gotta go.
Right. Because eventually, sometimes trends, right? Things trend. Super Smash Brothers trends up, very popular game, but it might trend down. Then when the down happens, that's when if you're just sustaining on your own, and that game company, Nintendo, and we know what they got in the bank. They've been around since before you were born. We're all three right here. We're alive and kicking on Super Mario back in the 80s. And even before that, they got things. So is just once they are told that enough, because that's why I travel around the world, or now I don't say around the world, I say around the US right now, to panels and talk about this, because this is how we can continue college esports, high school esports, elementary, middle school, and then on to the pro levels, to where then we already rivaling, like I said, we're already rivaling Major League Baseball, football, basketball in viewership. We just don't have the funding in all these leagues that we have out there. So that's the difference. Before, like I said, for what we're talking about with the NFL cap, great, because then alumni gets taken care of this, and current players continue to be able to earn, get the money they've earned, being the phenomenal athletes that they are.
And you got to, if you're an NFL player or NFL fan today that like salary cap, that means you can keep maybe another star player that you'd have to release.
100%.
So that helps. You probably got to thank Taylor Swift, because they thought that they thought that the salary cap was probably going to go up to maybe 240 million. It went up to, and that's Taylor Swift bringing in people, bringing in revenue. And then Ahman's probably got to thank Taylor Swift too, because they've added a $74 million club benefit to go to performance pay and retired players.
Thank you.
So Ahman might be seeing a little bit of Taylor Swift money.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you, Tay Tay.
Thanks, Tay Tay.
And Ahman, one last question before we move on from this topic. How long do you think it'll be before these esport teams actually start seeing the money? And if they do, what is that determining factor?
Right now, it's no number on it. I say I could put it out. If I get to do what I get to do, is what I'm doing here in Lincoln, trying to build. I'm looking to build out an esports facility here, and then I could get on a platform to then I could tell, where I'm going to these panels. I go to one in Boston at the end of next month, and then talking to other directors and coaches and say, hey, we got to let guys, and then eventually get in front of Microsoft, Epic, EA, and talk to them, be like, this is what we got to do. I know y'all don't want to give y'all money, but you got to come up off that piggy bank. May take 10 years, may take 15, that might be my next goal I need to set for myself before I'm under the ground and they putting dirt on me, is because video games is going to continue to just to be video games, and this be this little thing where it should be this big thing right next to NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, the Olympics and stuff like that. Because I'm on a committee that is going to eventually be a part of the Olympics, And the Olympics don't want to work with the esports world because they picking out their simulator games, which is not an esport, which is like you're gonna make what was it? It's the rifling part of the Olympics. They found a simulator game that just simulates it. I'm like, that's not a competitive sport. You're just taking something that's already has a pulse, that's already happening in real life, and copying it like that. But Rocket League, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Fortnite, Super Smash Brothers, Mortal Kombat, Madden. You got all these other games that you could put as Olympic game because what? Olympic games are games played around the world, right?
Yep.
Everybody in the world plays Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the world plays Rainbow Six Siege. Everybody in the world plays Valorant or League of Legends. So you tell me you couldn't find a team on every continent to compete in this for a gold medal? Then if you're telling me that, they're not telling me that because I know they wouldn't be able to because it happens. So that's the thing. They just not trying hard enough, So that's I say it's gonna take time. You just gotta get in their faces enough. Be like, knock, knock, knock. Hello, do this, please, now. So
all right. Well, we'll send it to break, and we'll be right back to the drive. 93.7 The Ticket.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we have some really big savings for you right now. Our new crossover sale is underway. New Terrains, Equinoxes, and Trailblazers starting at $23,290. That's right, $23,290. Also, we've continued our huge Sierra and Silverado truck sale with over $10,000 off new pickups. You heard right, over $10,000 off list. Koppel truly has a small town feel with big city deals. We're right down 144th Street or at KoppelCars.com. Stock numbers G260980 and C119824.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Delicious, decadent, scrumptious, delightful. What other words can I use to describe something so good? I can't even tell it's healthy. How about heavenly? Chef Bob created heavenly waffles with an incredible fluffy recipe packed with protein and loaded with a plethora of angelic toppings to elevate the experience beyond the typical waffle and syrup. Don't just take our word for it. Join us for Heavenly Waffles Wednesday to experience heaven for yourself.
Enjoy Heavenly Waffles this Wednesday, February 28th from 8 to 11 a.m. in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Parking is available along 11th Street and in nearby garages.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Let's just talk, because I like these projections. Left defensive end, Ty Robinson. Behind him, Chief Border. Nose tackle, Hutch Monster, and then Van Poppel. Right defensive end, Jamari Butler, and then Cameron Linhart.
Yeah, you got to have them on the field at the same time. I mean, that's a train wreck right there. I mean, in the making it. Both of them in the near future is going to demand double team, so you might as well get them ready for it now. And that's just the best thing for this team right now. They have both of those up-and-coming stars on the field at the same time.
This is The Drive with AD and Raff on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we are back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. This segment is proudly sponsored by Florial's Italian Restaurant and Grill, just south of Lincoln Southwest High School on 14th and Pine Lake Road. Florial's Italian Restaurant provides a cozy, family-friendly setting where good food and good company come together. All you have to do is visit florialsne.com or call 402-423-5576 to make reservations or place takeout orders. Got it. All right. It's time for Raff's Good Take.
Let's do it.
You got it, man.
Today's Raff's Good Take goes out to Nebraska basketball player Josiah Alec. And I'm giving Raff's Good Take to Josiah just for the fact that I love the way he plays basketball. He is a scrapper. He is diving. He is hustling constantly. Last night, 9 points, 8 rebounds. The stat line probably will not stick out, to get the Big Ten Player of the Week or anything like that. But everything he does, I just love the way he hustles. And I think that's the brand of basketball that Nebraska fans appreciate. And it's just fun to watch him play. So, Josiah, you are Raff's Good Take. Boom. Got it.
Good job.
Awesome. And
love me some Josiah.
He had the 2 offensive rebounds at the start of the game, and he just, the way he carries himself on the court too as well. He drew that flagrant 1 foul, and I feel like a lot of guys sometimes possibly could act a little rash and not be too happy with it. But he's just a guy that's like, okay, that's foul. I'm going to the strike.
He reminds me so much from me and Ahman's time. Bruce Chubbuck.
Yeah. Bruce
Chubbuck just always
that guy.
Yes. I mean, just a hard-nosed player. I think he's actually. Is he the head coach at Omaha Central right now? He might be actually the head basketball coach.
I know he coaches. You got me on that one.
He coaches in Omaha, but it might be Omaha Central. I think it is.
That'll be nice. Go Eagles.
Yeah, but he reminds me of Bruce Chubbuck when he plays, just the hustle and diving around and scrappy and fighting, taking the fouls and making the baskets. That's Josiah Alec, baby.
You gotta have that person.
He's that person, and that's the guy. Those are the guys we need to lead us into the NCAA basketball tournament. You heard it here first.
All right.
Well, great show today, guys. And
we did it. We rounded it out.
It was fun joining you guys for the first time, too.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
First one of many.
That's the way we roll.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, we about ready to throw it out of here. We close?
Yes, sir.
We good?
We're good.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great Monday. And remember, be nice to each other. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment